I stood on top of the last hill before Peiping and saw the roads below me flow like living rivers. Between roads and woods and plains moved too. The land was peopled, the Han people, the people of 100 surnames, marching with one heart, our tatters flying. The depth and width of joy were exactly known to me, the Chinese population. After much hardship, a few of our millions had arrived together at the capital. We faced our emperor personally. We beheaded him, cleaned out the palace, and inaugurated the peasant who would begin the new order. In his rags he sat on the throne facing south, and we, a great red crowd, bowed to him 3 times. He commended some of us who were his first generals. I told the people who had come with me that they were free to go home now, but since the long wall was so close, I would go see it. They could come along if they liked, so, loath to disband after such high adventures, we reached the northern boundary of the world, chasing Mongols en route. I touched the long wall with my own fingers, running the edge of my hand between the stones, tracing the grooves the builders' hands had made. We lay our foreheads and our cheeks against the long wall and cried like the women who had come here looking for their men so long building the wall. In my travels north, I had not found my brother. Carrying the news about the new emperor, I went home, where one more battle awaited me. The baron who had drafted my brother would still be bearing sway over our village. Having dropped my soldiers off at crossroads and bridges, I attacked the baron's stronghold alone. I jumped over the double walls and landed with swords drawn and knees bent, ready to spring. When no one accosted me, I sheathed the swords and walked about like a guest until I found the baron. He was counting his money, his fat ringed fingers playing over the abacus. "Who are you? What do you want?" he said, encircling his profits with his arms. He sat square and fat like a god. "I want your life in payment for your crimes against the villagers." "I haven't done anything to you. All this is mine. I earned it. I didn't steal it from you. I've never seen you before in my life. Who are you?" "I am a female avenger." Then, heaven help him, he tried to be charming, to appeal to me man to man. "Oh, come now. Everyone takes the girls when he can. The families are glad to be rid of them. Girls are maggots in the rice. It is more profitable to raise geese than daughters." He quoted to me the sayings I hated. "Regret what you've done before I kill you," I said. "I haven't done anything other men, even you, wouldn't have done in my place. You took away my brother. I free my apprentices." He was not an apprentice. China needs soldiers in wartime. "You took away my childhood." "I don't know what you're talking about. We've never met before. I've done nothing to you." "You've done this," I said, and ripped off my shirt to show him my back. "You are responsible for this." When I saw his startled eyes at my breasts, I slashed him across the face and on the second stroke cut off his head. I pulled my shirt back on and opened the house to the villagers. The baron's family and servants hid in closets and under beds. The villagers dragged them out into the courtyard, where they tried them next to the beheading machine. "Did you take my harvest so that my children had to eat grass?" a weeping farmer asked. "I saw him steal seed grain," another testified. "My family was hiding under the thatch on the roof when the bandits robbed our house, and we saw this one take off his mask." They spared those who proved they could be reformed. They beheaded the others. Their necks were collared in the beheading machine, which slowly clamped shut. There was one last-minute reprieve of a bodyguard when a witness shouted testimony just as the vise was pinching blood. The guard had but recently joined the household in exchange for the child hostage. A slow killing gives a criminal time to regret his crimes and think of the right words to prove he can change. I searched the house, hunting out people for trial. I came upon a locked room. When I broke down the door, I found women, cowering, whimpering women. I heard shrill insect noises and scurrying. They blinked weakly at me like peasants that have been raised in the dark for soft meat. The servants who walked the ladies had abandoned them, and they could not escape on their little bound feet. Some crawled away from me, using their elbows to pull themselves along. These women would not be good for anything. I called the villagers to come identify any daughters they wanted to take home, but no one claimed any. I gave each woman a bag full of rice, which they sat on. They rolled the bags to the road. They wandered away like ghosts. Later, it would be said, they turned into the band of swordswomen who were a mercenary army. They did not wear men's clothes like me, but rode as women in black and red dresses. They brought up girl babies, so that many poor families welcomed their visitations. When slave girls and daughters-in-law ran away, people would say they joined these witch Amazons. They killed men and boys. I myself never encountered such women and could not vouch for their reality. After the trials, we tore down the ancestral tablets. "We'll use this great hall for village meetings," I announced. "Here, we'll put on operas. We'll sing together and talk story." We washed the courtyard. We exorcised the house with smoke and red paper. "This is a new year," I told the people. The year 1. I went home to my parents-in-law and husband and son. My son stared, very impressed by the general he had seen in the parade, but his father said, "It's your mother. Go to your mother." My son was delighted that the shiny general was his mother too. She gave him her helmet to wear and her swords to hold. Wearing my black embroidered wedding coat, I knelt at my parents-in-law's feet, as I would have done as a bride. "Now my public duties are finished," I said.